And obviously the Lions are one of my 3 picks to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you what. You know what? Let's dive right into it. The Detroit Lions. The question really is, how does this team not make the Super Bowl? And I say that simply because
By
looking at
pulling another Dan, that's what I'm calling him.
so last year, in order to look ahead to the future, Casino, we have to look at their past, and their past looks pretty damn good. Last year they were 12-5. They won 24-23 against the Rams in the wild card, won 31-23 against the Bucks in the divisional, and then lost in the NFC Championship game 34-31 to the 49ers, crushing everyone's hopes and dreams. Last year, they were 19th in total defense, 27th against the pass, second against the run. However, their total offense, just insane. Third in the league in total offense, second in the league in passing, fifth in the league in rushing. Their over-under going into this year is 10.5. Casino and I both picked way over. But
Over.
not only that, maybe one of the only teams in history that had 2 candidates who were up for multiple head coaching jobs, both Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator, and Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator, both turned down all head coaching offers, decided to come back. Unprecedented move. I don't remember the last time we've ever seen that.
Yeah, because they know they can win.
I think so. And then looking into the 2024 season, according to PFF, they have the number 1 O-line in the league, the number 3 wide or
That's
running back
nice.
group in the league, the 7th best wide receiver group in the league, the 4th best defensive line in the league, and the 22nd best linebacker unit in the league. So before we get to free agency and what they did in the draft, Casino, the question is simple. How does this team not make the Super Bowl? How are they not better than they were last year?
Simple. With this new rule they put in place with in my opinion, it's going to change the whole landscape of the football season with the hip drop tackle, because now the games can be judged and called to whatever pleases the media and whatever pleases the pockets of Roger Goodell.
That is, I'll tell you what, if we had a spicy take button, I'd be hitting it right now because that's a spicy take. I
Boing! I don't know.
That's actually a really good point. And
It really is. I mean, we talked a lot about the refs and how it seemed that everything would always fall, like all the questionable calls would always fall in the favor of the Chiefs.
yes,
Always. Okay. It's gonna be whichever side that Roger Goodell wants to make the money for, because we talked about it. If it was the Lions and who was the other team that we said if they made it?
it was
Lions.
last year they had the really sketchy end of the game in the Cowboys Lions game that was
Right.
just egregious.
Well, no,
And
I was saying there was the possibility of I don't remember which other team it would have been out of the AFC.
well,
Um,
It was Ravens, Chiefs, and then the Ravens. I don't think there was anything screwy in that game. I think it was the game before that.
no, but what I'm getting at is ratings would have been really low if the Lions made it, because where's the Lions fans out there besides Detroit? Like, I know 2 Lions fans, and that's it. I don't know that many Lions fans out there. But it would have hurt the pockets of the NFL. It would have hurt the pockets of Roger Goodell having the Lions in the Super Bowl. It's not as spicy as having the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid going for a repeat or going for a three-peat coming up this year, versus the Niners, very California talked up team, or the Eagles, another big media name. So does it fit the agenda? And I don't want to be that guy to say that it's gonna, like, there's awry afoot, but it's gonna make it so much easier. I've been saying it's gonna turn into like what the NBA is, where by rule everything can be called a foul. And if we're gonna go by rule, almost every single tackle is gonna be called, and it could be called the hip drop tackle, because try to stop Derrick Henry. Oh, what do you have to do? You have to use your weight to take him down. You can't just grab him and just wrestle him down. That's not the case. You're taking out a pivotal skill for those players that are not as big away from them. And they had their entire career getting up to this point on being able to use their weight and learning how to use leverage to tackle players and bring players down. And I really do think that this is going to change the landscape. And so therefore, that's how the Lions don't make the Super Bowl, is if the agenda doesn't fit Roger Goodell and they want the bigger names in the market make it.
So you're basically saying the only way this team does not make the Super Bowl is tomfoolery.
Mhm.
Tomfoolery.
Pretty much. I mean, if you want to
Yeah.
hear my spicy take, they're my Super Bowl pick again this year.
Ooh, that
And they're
is
my
spicy.
But here's the thing, they're my Super Bowl pick to win the whole thing.
Yeah. I also we
Not they're
saw
they're 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 not just my Super Bowl pick to make it out of the NFC. I expect it to be a Ravens-Lions Super Bowl and it to be one of the best Super Bowls we've seen in ages.
Dang, Casino, he woke up today and chose violence. He chose spicy
I
take.
mean, I woke up today and both my kids just slapped me in the face. Not really, but
Well, that was the Super Bowl we almost had last year, and it was the
and
NFC
that's what
Championship.
everybody wanted.
That's what everybody wanted. So you're saying they both run it back this year and finally get over the hump.
I think so.
I mean, I would love to see it. Yeah, I think
I think the
I'll tell you
Ravens
what.
do it because they picked up a running back, and I think the Lions do it because outside of a couple Dans, they were through.
Well, I don't see how, again, I mean, they couldn't just put it at 12 and a half because I feel like so many people would bet the under that it would push that number anyways. But having this team be the over under at 10 and a half seems insanely low when their entire coaching staff is returning. They lost no big free agents. The guys they brought in, let's see, they brought in a bunch of depth pieces. They brought in DJ Reader, the really good defensive tackle from the Bengals. They re-signed who was going to be their big free agent loss, which was Graham Glasgow, the guard. So they brought him back, and then they brought in a cornerback who is going to compete for one of the three starting cornerback roles in Amik Robinson from Tampa Bay. So again, you look at what they did last year, what they're projected to be this year, and when we're going to get to the Bears, which was a team that opened at the over-under at 9.5 when they were a 7-win team last year, the odds makers think this Lions team is only 1 win better than a Bears team that completely rebuilt their roster. Just outrageous. Casino. But I'm right there with you. I am circling around like literally 4 teams to be my Super Bowl pick. I think Detroit might be my NFC Super Bowl pick. I think the 49ers got worse. There's also the news we haven't touched on because we're not talking about the Niners, but Christian McCaffrey is injured. Trent Williams also will probably miss a couple games, maybe just the first, but he'll be out potentially. So right there, 2 your best offensive players out to start. And again, the 49ers start season 1 or week 1 against the Jets. So if the Jets are as good as everybody thinks they are, what if they lose that game? Purdy has had some issues during the preseason, so Super Bowl hangover might already have started for the Niners. So legitimately, the Eagles are a giant question mark. The Packers are a giant question mark, who we'll talk to in a minute. So with the 49ers, Eagles, Packers out of the way, who else is there besides Detroit? Like, they're the clear top dog, I think. And yeah, I think they're going to the Super Bowl.
Woof woof, motherfucker.